So last session we discussed about how to use structural directives. How do we deal with the structural directive? So in the structural directive, we learnt about how to use ngIf and one more, that is ngSwitch. Syntactically, how they are used. We discussed about that. Next, after understanding after understanding how to deal with ngIf and ngSwitch, actually ngSwitch and ngIf syntactically we learnt. So we discussed about the basic syntax, how to use it. So what is the directive and how to use it. Now we will see one example how we can handle the switch also, right? How to deal with the switch, how to use the switch case. So for that, let's start the application. What are the basic directives for managing switch? Already we learned. We need the attribute ngSwitch, that is to verify the switch case. That is for verifying the switch case and verifying the condition, right, of the switch. We have to use this. And another important is the attributes for switch. We can define ngSwitch case. That is the attribute defined, that is ngSwitch case. We can configure that. And another important is we have a default, means how you can manage the default, right? So you can manage the default as ng. So we can configure as ng switch default. Switch default. So conditionally, it can handle the blocks. Conditionally, it can handle the blocks. And it can manage the blocks. So that's what actually it can do. It can do. So we will see one simple example of how to use this switch. One simple example, we will see how we can manage that. Generally, you can use this syntactically. I showed you how to write syntactically, how we write ngSwitch. Yesterday we saw one point. This was the example I given to you. Syntactically, how do we write the switch? So switch, this is how we configure. Now what is intention is, it allows to switch between the views dynamically. That is the key point, switch between the views dynamically. So let's design one example, how we can manage this. So for that, I will create a simple screen to understand the approach, what it is and how to handle that. So for that, we need to know some more basic points also. So let's design. I will add a new component for switch. Let's add a new component for switch. So in our app, I will add a new folder, switch demo. Okay, let's keep new files, switch demo.component.ts and switch demo.component.html and switch demo.component.css. So in the component ts, we will import components and from Angular core. Okay, fine. Next, we will export class switch demo component. Okay, and here we will define the component at the net component, and selector I will give as app switch demo. Okay, template URL and switch demo.component.html and the style URLs, and here we will define switch demo.component.css. That's what we have to define. Okay, now I will register this component. So in app module, switch demo is registered. I will keep this in the startup, switch demo component in the startup, and this is switch demo, that is the selector, switch demo. Fine. Now this is the component. Now let's start. So now in this component, we are going to design a small interface to understand actually how this switch works. How do we handle that switch combination? How to define? Generally, this is used to switch between the views. That means to display only that is needed for that particular situation. That's what actually the point is. So a simple design we will create. Later we can use in some other complex examples also. A simple design we will create here. So what I will do is, let's go to switch demo component.html. And here I am designing a simple div and a class as a form group. Okay. So let's keep this as container fluid. Okay. Inside this, I will just keep a heading. I will define a simple navigation as product details. And here I am designing a div and a class as a btn